Hey YouTube, it's K Bizzle here again. I just got back from PSX this past weekend. It was my first gaming convention. I wanted to kind of post my thoughts on the experience and what I liked about the show, what I didn't like about the show, what I didn't like about the event. Things as a first-time convention goer, I was a little, I wouldn't say shocked at, but just kind of, it was something I probably should have thought of before I went. So let's first... let's talk about the bad stuff. So I bought tickets online, but when you get there, you couldn't print out your ticket because you got to get a badge that they scan throughout the events when you go to different things, and unlocks perks and achievements and trophies and themes and stuff like that as you do certain things throughout the convention. So that part was cool, but I don't understand how when you bought your badge online, they couldn't have sent it to you. Now, I know there's may have been postage involved, but I got there just before the show started. I didn't expect to get in right away, so I stood outside and watched the show, or the showcase, the press conference outside with a bunch of people that were all waiting in line. It was cool, great, big screen, a lot of energy, a lot of great stuff. I'm sure you've all watched it. Then I had to get in line to get my badge. Not to get in the show, but to get my badge. I was in that line for over 2 hours. 2 hours. It was mind-boggling to me how, Sony, huge corporation, should have planned this event. I mean, it was just, like I said, I've never been to a convention before, but I'm like, is this how it always is? I mean, talk about starting the show on a sour note. I'm like, I've stood in line for 2 hours just to get my badge. And just the level of frustration, like in the lines, you could see it when people were being told where the end of the line was. That just doesn't seem to make any sense to me. So, I think if you want to get a badge, make it optional. Because, frankly, some people don't want to do all that stuff. Give them a ticket to get in. It was weird, and it started off just kind of, I was irritated because it took me 2 hours to get in. Now, luckily, once we got in, or got the badge, we could get right in because the line to get in had since gone down. And so the theme of this, the bad part of this, and maybe this is my naivety of going to conventions, is lines. Oh my God, lines. Some of the lines were that I didn't even get in. I heard from people when I asked the attendants how long the line was 2 hours long to play maybe a 5-10 minute demo of the game. Now, mind you, I'm a game lover. Everybody there was a game lover, but I was like, holy smokes. So I had a 2-day ticket. I didn't end up going to the second day because I'm like, I can't stand in these lines anymore. Maybe I'm getting too old for it. I don't know. So, and you're on your feet a lot, so those were the things that I just kind of it was tough. I mean, maybe that's just standard convention. Maybe, obviously the media folks get in there quickly, but the lines, were unbelievable. So I really didn't get to play that much. Just from time. I'm going to comment on some of the things I did see. So those are the things that just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. All the rest of the stuff was really cool to be able to see games that they talked about in the press conference, to be around thousands of people who love what you love. Everyone was very nice, friendly. You could chat in line about what you were about ready to do, things you saw. So the experience in that regard, fantastic. So let me talk about some of the overall things that I experienced. I want to talk about the VR games that I did. I did this VR experience, which is a random game they put you in, and I got the NBA experience. Wow, was that terrible. You just are standing in a stationary spot, tracking the ball with your head. I hope that's not a game they're going to charge for because it was just really boring and not good. So I tried the Thrustmaster, which is a wheel peripherals booth, which was the VR for Drive Club. And let me tell you what, I've tried VR before and didn't get sick. Trying this, I almost vomited in the middle of the game. So if you're going to try Drive Club VR, be aware you might be one of those people that gets really sick. I got done. The guy said, yeah, 1 in 6 people get really nauseous. And I was like, yep, That was me because it was jarring how nauseous it was. I hadn't had that experience with VR before, but wow, was it. I mean, it was not fun just because I was trying not to throw up the whole time. Eve Valkyrie I tried. That wait was about an hour. The demo was a cool setup. They did 6 people and 6 people, and you were in this little cockpit. The demo lasted for maybe 5 minutes. It was neat. But it's not a game that I would run out to buy VR. You're basically sitting in a cockpit, kind of flying around, shooting the opponents. Those were the VR experiences I got to try. Frankly, I tried VR at Best Buy. I tried the Batman demo, and I fell in love with it. But I have to say, after experiencing some of the things I saw at the press conference, I was like, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to spend $500 for this thing. I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach. I didn't try the Star Wars one. That line was crazy. I heard that was pretty good anecdotally from some people. All right, so some of the games I saw. GT Sport, they had this great deal where you're sitting in a kind of a fake race car with like 8, 9, 10 other people. They had VR for that, but I didn't want to wait for that. The game looks amazing. Driving using a wheel was fantastic. I've always been a GTA or a GT Sport Gran Turismo fan. Excuse me. That was really cool. Hopefully that comes out soon. I also tried Drawn to Death, which I like shooters. I was really excited about that. I like David Jaffe. I think he makes great games. That line wasn't too bad at all, but I think this might have been a game where kind of figuring out the controls in that short a time and then having an enjoyable experience was tough to do. I was really excited for the game. It took you a while to figure out the controls and what was going on, and maybe that's just the process of a short demo. I walked away kind of lukewarm on the game. I may check it out. I know it's not going to be free to play anymore, but let's see. What other games did I try? Uncharted Survival. That was cool because even though the line was decent, they let you play with 3 people until you completed a certain number of waves. Now, the controls were like the sensitivity was off the hook, so I'm not used to playing. I was going all over the place, but really fun, kind of a horde mode. I got to play with 2 other folks. We didn't do too great, but we had fun, and that demo lasted, probably because we didn't do well, maybe like 10 minutes. That's going to be fun. That's a free download, so if you liked Uncharted, I would check that out. I tried Parappa the Rappa, which is getting re-released on PS4. Fun. I never played it, actually, when it came out originally. A rhythm, kind of fun game. I enjoyed the demo. It was fun. Next Machina, which is a game from Housemarque. I didn't get to play that, but I stood and watched over the shoulder. It looks like an awesome twin-stick shooter. Almost reminded me of Super Smash TV from back in the day, which I absolutely adored. That game really got my attention. I stood there for 15 minutes just watching people play. Other things that I saw. All right, so I have a PS Pro. I don't have a 4K TV, but after seeing some of the games on these Sony 70-inch 4K TVs, they looked freaking amazing, particularly Horizon Zero Dawn. The demo guy was showing us with 4K on and off, HDR on off. Fantastic. Looked amazing. They had other games in 4K that you could sit down in this lounge area kind of play with, like The Last of Us, FIFA, I believe Infinite Warfare, The Last of Us. Looked fantastic. Made me really want to run out and get a 4K TV so I can take advantage of the Pro that I just bought. Other things I got to see, I got to watch the Last of Us panel, which was, hearing Neil Druckmann talk was awesome. I've posted some, videos and other things throughout this this little rant of mine, so you can check out some of the pictures I took. But the Last of Us panel was awesome to hear. Just the trailer alone, I'm sure you guys have watched it. Man, did that look amazing. I also got to watch some of the Capcom Cup, which gave me new respect for these fighters folk, guys who are good at the fighter game. They were doing Street Fighter V. I watched the quarters and the semis, and just amazing stuff. I decided not to go back for Sunday just because I had enough of all day standing in lines. It was a neat experience to go to. I don't know that I would go again, just because of the lines, unless someone was kind enough to give me a media pass. But if you have a group of friends that are going and who all like games, you'll probably have some fun. maybe my patience for standing in line is just not what it once was. But anyway, those are my thoughts on PSX 2016. Let me know what you thought if you went in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.